welcome to our kitchen. So glad you're joining us here. So to let us know that you're here, comment below. Maybe my cameraman can see the comments or not sure. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't, because Facebook is sometimes just stupid. But if you're watching the replay, please let us know you watch the replay. So we're coming to you to share with you what we're making for dinner tonight, which is not just going to be our dinner tonight. It's probably going to be dinner for another night and maybe lunch for a few days too. But that's okay because we both like leftovers. So we're making the chicken Devon casserole, and we're using the 10 by 14 enamel cast iron baker. And this is actually on sale for the month of, I think through the 15th of April. I'd have to double check. It's regularly $1.99. It's on sale for $99. So that's an incredible savings. If you want a link where you can save a little bit more, let me know. I can shoot that to you and stuff. But this is great for your roasts, for your leg of lamb, for your hams, for your turkeys, anything that you need a nice size casserole dish for. And it comes with a little rack that lifts out too, so that makes it easy to lift those bigger proteins out. So let's get started. I already have my oven preheated, so we are going to whisk together our broth, and I'm using store-bought broth. I've actually measured these, and there's 2 cups per pouch. So over here in England, they don't have the nice little cartons that we have that have 4 cups in a carton. And these are 2 cups per pouch. And the fun thing with these is you have to sometimes be careful on how you pour them. Get all that out. And we're just going to throw everything in the sink for right now, and we'll deal with that later. Trying to avoid a mess, because I can be a messy Marvin in the kitchen, but I like to tell my husband he's more of the messy Marvin, because he seems to use like every pan or utensil in the kitchen, I swear. Because whoever cooks doesn't clean up, so I clean up after he cooks, and I feel like I'm cleaning up for days. Just kidding. He's on the other side of the camera laughing. All right, so whisk together the broth, the sour cream. Oops, I forgot the sour cream. So I'm not using sour cream. I'm using creme fraiche. The reason I'm using creme fraiche is it's pretty much the same, but if you check the price of it in the stores over there in the US, oh my God, it's so stupid expensive. Here, it's like the same price as sour cream. So it's crazy. And so there's things like this, like casseroles and stuff, that we'll use creme fraiche instead of sour cream. Okay, now, all right, the mayonnaise is going in as well. So I'm going to put my mayonnaise in, and this is the Measure-O cup. Absolutely love it. There we go. And I'm using the classic batter bowl just because it's bigger. All right, how much sour cream do I need? I swore I had all the ingredients. All right, 1.5. Not quite all of it. So we're going to use our classic scraper, and we are just going to fill our Measure-O. The nice thing with the measure, yikes, get in there, trying to escape.
Just trying to get away.
I'm telling you, it's really good.
Trying to get away from you.
Okay, it'll go in my belly then. If I catch it before my husband catches it, then it goes in my belly.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I bought this, literally. So if you've ever been one like with Cool Whip, to take the Cool Whip container and just sit there and scoop it with your finger and eat it, no kidding. That's what he did. I'm telling on him. But that's part of the fun of our antics and doing this together and stuff, is we can have fun with it and we can mess with each other, which makes time in the kitchen more fun. Alright, I have an air pocket down there. So I'm going to take it down just a little bit. I maybe already compensated for that air pocket, but. Alright, so we are going to put that in there as well. Oh my gosh, this is filling up. I hope I don't have to transfer this to the large stainless mixing bowl. Didn't realize it was going to be this much. Right. Alright, so actually, before I add anything else, so probably normally what I would do if I would have realized it was this much is I would have started with 1 pouch of the broth. And then, actually, I know I'm going to make a mess. So, we are going to change to our nice big stainless mixing bowl, which is a 24 cup mixing bowl. And the classic batter bowl is a cup. Much better. Okay, so Pampered Chef, we like to say we are pampered, we are not perfect. And so basically I'm just using more dishes than I really need to, so there's going to be more to wash because we don't have a dishwasher.
You have a dishwasher.
Yeah, you. Or as we like to say, the dish fairy sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right, so we have our broth, we have our sour cream, we have our mayonnaise, now our milk. That is in there. All right, lemon juice. Don't go in there. So we are going to juice a lemon using the citrus press. Now, you don't do it side up unless you want a facial. Then you get a nice lemon juice facial. Cut side down and you just press it. That gets the most juice out of your lemon. And he's sitting there telling me to turn it because as you saw or maybe heard, there was a little bit more that plopped in there. So another thing fun about the UK is, okay, not only do they recycle cardboard, paper, plastics, they recycle food. So what does that go to? Because that's really weird, right? It either gets incinerated or it goes into making compost. So that's how they, help to keep their landfills, under control, and only specific things actually go to the landfill. Yes, sir. All right, so there is the lemon juice. What else is there? All right. So now we have garlic. I will tell you, if you buy jarred minced garlic, if you buy yourself a garlic press and just a little bit of olive oil, you can press a whole bag of garlic into a jar, add a little bit of olive oil, mix it up, and you have exactly what you're buying, and it's going to be much less. So all you do is just press, use the handle of the Barbie brush to scrape it, and then put the bristles of the Barbie brush through the holes. So, we're going to do this real quick. And if you're doing it right, now see, sometimes you get lucky. The peel comes out on the plunger. But if you're doing it right, your hands should not smell like garlic when you're done. So if you are someone that likes to cook with garlic like we do, and this is a must-have tool. This is our second one, I think. The other half kind of He-Man'd one of them, and there was a stress point in the handle, and he broke it. He was so upset. He couldn't believe he did it. Alrighty. Whoops, that goes behind, that's okay. Alright, so the garlic is in there. Now we're going to add some paprika. So how much paprika? Half a teaspoon. I'm always confused. Does paprika add spice or sweetness to it?
Spice. Paprika is ground capsaicin. It's a ground type of pepper.
Okay, because somebody on the other side likes things spicy. We're actually putting a little more in. But that's okay, because I put more garlic in too, so that'll help offset it. All right, get out of the cheese. So, that is done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add our pasta. It doesn't tell us to, butter or oil or anything in the baker. So we are going to take our pasta, and that's the other thing. Pasta over here all come in bags. They don't come in boxes. But the funny thing is, a box can be recycled. They don't recycle this. So I find that kind of interesting. Nope, I'm gonna go with the rest of the trash. Pasta. Chicken. So we have chicken tenders, which they call mini fillets. So these, we're gonna take them, and we are gonna take our kitchen shears or scissors, and we are just going to cut them. And you can see how easy that's going through. I like to say these are scissors like my grandma had, because they come apart for easy washing to make sure that you get everything clean, especially when you're using them for things like this, because you don't want cross-contamination onto anything else. Now, this is a little more chicken than the recipe calls for, but that's okay, because like with proteins and with cheese or even bacon, can you ever have enough?
No.
And a lot of times I find with the recipes, and that they're really good and they're kind of proportionate, but sometimes I'd like a little more protein than what it's given me. So usually what we do is we will make the recipe to the recipe the first time, and then we'll make notes for things we want to change, or if we want to add. We'll make notes on the recipe, especially if it's one that we consider a make again. All right, there's that one. So rather than buying the cut up, which was like twice the price, that's why I just bought the mini fillets. And I'm cutting them myself. So one of the other things you could do, because I know in the States the chicken tenders are really expensive. I mean, it's kind of crazy. You could just do chicken breast too. And the reason they say the tenders is just because it's the tenderest meat part of the chicken. Alright. So one of the other things that I did change on here was rather than doing frozen broccoli, I'm actually doing fresh broccoli. I prefer fresh vegetables if I can versus frozen. I just think the flavor is much, much better. And sometimes with frozen, it gets really, really kind of soggy in some recipes, and that's something I particularly don't care for. I'm not really a texture eater, but there's textures with some things I just don't like. How about you? Are you a frozen broccoli or a fresh broccoli person? All right, there we go. So that's in there. Let me wash my hands. I'm not handling any more chicken. Okay, he's showing me what else I already have prepped up. So one of the tricks to making dinner time simple, gather all your ingredients together, prep whatever you need to prep, and then start putting everything together. What are you looking?
I was just looking at the steps.
So what I'm doing, I'm kind of moving the chicken around to make sure it's even. It's gonna get mixed up. So this is how much? So it's 450 grams of broccoli, which is a pound. And I cut them small because it's going in a casserole. It's nicer to have things bite size. Okay, so, and 1 cup of the cheese. That's not a lot of cheese. So this is a 1 cup prep bowl. Okay. So this cheese I shredded. And you may notice it's shredded relatively thick. That is because the new graters have an extra thick option on them, and that's what I'm using. So if you were slicing your own, there's another part in the drawer. Can you hand it to me? So the fine and the extra come together and they form a teepee. I'm not going to put them together and stuff. And so you can just kind of set them on the counter like that and use them. But when I'm grating a lot, I like to just do it over the bowl. So what I do is I just set it there, put my hand, get the bowl in between, and I go away from me. Now you do want to make sure when you're grating your cheese that it's cold. You're going to get the best results from that and stuff with it not caking up on the grater. So that's another reason I like using the bigger one. It didn't cake up as much. All right, so we put a cup of the cheese in there. So now we are going to pour this over that. Can I do this without making a mess? We will see. It's like a dinner bell. And the reason there's so much liquid is because you have the pasta in here, and the pasta needs to cook as this bakes. This is why I love these scrapers. See how much is coming off the sides? So think about it when you're baking and stuff. How much of your batter and that are you leaving in the bowl that you could actually get out? No, stop. That is after this cooks for 25 minutes. I'm gonna beat him. So, all right. Pour sour cream mixture over. Now we're gonna cover it with foil. I'm gonna use our long foil.
That's parchment.
You're right, that's parchment.
You did that last.
Oh, you used all the long foil.
You did that last time.
No, I didn't.
You did the parchment thing last time.
Did I?
Yeah. We never bought new long foil.
Well, we're going to the base.
Oh no, Kyle said he's gonna go.
Oh. Alright, the long foil needs to go on the list. So there are some things here that we can't get that we're accustomed to having in the States. The grill size foil is one of them. Alright, so that is covered. Alright, now to get a warm facial. So, we put this in. Okay, so want to show this. See, this will not be this tight in your ovens. This is a British oven, which is smaller. So you will have more room within your oven. So that way you can easily put it in there without worry. 25 minutes. So it's going to bake for 25 minutes. So while I'm waiting, one of the things I'm going to do, put that away. And we are going to mix the breadcrumbs and the lemon pepper. And this is going to be a pooey. I tossed it in there. That's okay. This has a tablespoon.
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon. Look, leave me alone. You're making me nervous. That's a little extra. That's okay. So I have melted butter. And this is the 2-cup bread bowl. And the reason I chose the 2-cup is this is a cup of panko breadcrumbs. And there is a difference between panko and regular breadcrumbs. So we're just going to get this all mixed up. So if you've ever done a lot of casseroles and stuff, this is how you make that topping that bakes on top of it to give it that nice texture. And the fun thing is that with the melted butter, you kind of got to keep mixing it until everything is moist. You know, kind of like whenever you're making bread dough or that, or pie dough. You're sitting there mixing the flour, trying to get everything where it's got some moisture to it. And that's what you're doing with this. So then we're going to do this. So then when this is done, what we're going to do is we will, when that sounds off, we'll take the pan out of the oven, uncover it, we'll put the remaining cheese on, and then we'll put the breadcrumb mixture on, and then we're going to bake it for about 15 more minutes. So then once that 15 minutes is done, you're going to let it stand for 10 minutes before serving, kind of like you do a lasagna. And so that is what our dinner is for tonight, and another night this week, and lunch a couple of days. So if you have any questions on anything that we used or anything we did or would like this recipe, let me know. You don't have to have the 10 by 14 baker to make it. You can use any casserole dish that will hold it and stuff. You just want to make sure it is a large enough one that it's going to hold that amount. So thank you for joining us in our kitchen. We hope you enjoyed the show.